Okay, let's talk about domain and range. And first off, let's remember, what is domain? What letter? X. Range is your Y. Okay, so when you're talking about domain and range, you've got your X and your Y on your graph. So your domain is going to be what you do left to right. Range is what you're going to do up and down. So first off, what do these symbols mean? This symbol right here, what symbol is that? That is less than. Should have that down on your paper. This symbol, because you're reading it from left to right, this is greater than. Symbol down here, less than or equal to. Right here, greater than or equal to. Okay, we should remember, we should know these symbols. I believe that's all there is on there. Yep. Now, knowing the symbols less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, knowing these symbols mean equal to, which circle do you think would show inclusion? Inclusion is the same as making it equal to. And we talked about this before with the closed circle right there. That is what means equal to. Okay, so this would be the one that has less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. This one does not include the number. Include. So this would be when you just had less than or greater than, as we are trying to go through and find our continuous data information. Okay, so this right here, what does the following statement mean? If I see something like this, first off, if I was asking if it was domain and range, or range, is it domain or range? It would be domain. It would be going from left to right. Okay. If I was graphing this, and this is only my X, and I was on a number line, and I have -2, and I have 7, does my data equal -2? Does it say X equals -2? No. Does it say X is equal to 7? Yeah, it has an equal to bar. See, this is when I'm using a closed dot at 7, an open one at 2. It's saying that X is all these numbers in between these two. Okay, so hold on a second. Be patient as we go through this. It says that -2 is not included as an X value. So we use an open circle when X is -2. That's what I did if I graphed it on a number line. 7 is included as an X value, so we use a closed circle. That's why what I did right here would be, if that's all the information I was given, that would tell me that -2 is an open circle, at 7 is a closed circle, X is all the numbers in between those two. Okay, so now it says, fill in the missing inequality symbols for the domain and the range. Remember, domain is X. It goes from left to right. So I'll start here to the far left, and I'll come out to the far right. That's where my -2 is coming from. See, look, this number right here, -2, and all the way out to the right is 8. Now, X is all these numbers in between. So I know my symbols are going to look like this because you put the small number to the left, large to the right. Do I put an equal to bar, or do I just leave it alone at -2? If it's a darkened circle, I put equal to. And then again at 8, it's a darkened circle, so I put equal to. Now my range, my Y, goes up and down. Well, the lowest that it is down here, that's where my -7 comes from. The highest point up here is 8. That's where this is coming from. This is all the numbers in between negative 7 and 8. It's all the numbers that are bigger than negative 7 and all the numbers that are less than 8. So I'm going to leave my symbols like this, where if you put the small to the left and the large to the right, you always have your equal to. So now they have a darken and circle, so you put the equal to bar. Darken and circle, you put the equal to bar. This is saying that y is all the numbers between negative 7 and 8. Now, one of the ways that they could write this, the official mathematical way of writing it, is you have your domain, you put in these set notations in the x, and this bar right here, just saying this is your x data, your domain. Not too worried about it, just want to let you see that. Okay, so now let's look at the next one. It says fill in the missing numbers for the domain and range. So instead of the symbols, let's look at the numbers. So the domain is from left to right. Go to the far left. We're going to come over here. I'm going to actually, one way they teach you to do this is to box in your data. So like I'm going to draw a box. Here, maybe. Now, of course, I didn't draw a very nice line. What's the farthest to the left? What's this number? Negative 6. So I put the smallest number to the left, negative 6, and I go all the way out to the right to the largest number. And what number is that? Positive 3. That's how I fill in my domain. There's the other way down there that I opened up, or that I unshaded to show you. Now my range goes up and down. So the lowest this thing comes down to, always start with the lowest is first. What number is the lowest number down here? Negative 3. And the highest it goes up to? Positive 3. Now, the reason, remember, the reason why there are equal to bars underneath here is because these points, these endpoints are closed circles, because it includes those numbers. Now this one says find the domain and range as we look at this problem. So first off, domain is my x. So my domain, my x number, let's try and figure that out. First off, we're coming all the way, if you want to, box in your information. Like what is it, what's the lowest and highest, and let's find our points. Nope, I went too low on that. Domain is left to right. So what's the farthest to the left it is? What's that number? Negative 8 less than x. Now, do I put an equal to at this one? What kind of circle is that? It's an open circle. So you don't put an equal to bar. Then I come all the way out to the right. What number is this? Or I have my less than symbol. Do I put an equal to or leave it alone? An equal to. That's my domain. My range. My range is my y. Okay. The lowest, what's the lowest my line goes to? 0. Is it equal to 0? Is there a closed dot or an open dot? A closed, so it's equal to. So I put less than or equal to y. And what does it go up to? Up to 3. It's an open circle, so it's just that less than sign right there. Yeah, and there's my symbol. So let's see, is it going to... Let me move it down a little bit. There we go. That's what it's supposed to do. Now, go to the next one on your paper. Here we go. Right here. And try and find your domain and range. I'm looking at this data. I'm going to try and go and write my domain and range. My domain, I know, is my X. I know it goes from left to right. So as I go and box in, I'm going to try and draw straight lines here. Okay. When I go the farthest out to the left, the farthest it goes is -8. I know that there's an X. And for me, I go the farthest out to the right, and I see it's a +8. As long as you put your small number to the left, your symbols always point to the less than. Okay, as long as you put the small number to the left, large number to the right. Now, do I put an equal to bar there? On these 2 points right here, on the end points, they're an open circle, so they're not equal to. So that's my domain. That's all we do. My range is my Y. Now it goes up and down. The lowest point it's down here at is -8. I know it's a Y. And the highest point it goes up to is 4. As long as you put the small number to the left, large number to the right, it is always less than. That should have been your range. All right, I believe there's one more practice problem. All right, here we go. You try and do this one. Find the domain and range. So now on this one, again, I would box in my information. And so here we go. I'm going to box it in. Trying to figure out domain and range. So domain, again, is your X. The farthest to the left right here, 2, 4, this is -6. And I know it's an X. And the farthest to the right is a 10. Now your symbols, you're going to have them pointing to the less than. On the -6, it is equal to because it's a closed-in dot. So you put less than or equal to. Out at 10, it's an open circle, so you leave it with the less than symbol. All right, there it is. Now the range. My range is my Y. The lowest it goes down here to is right here at -1. Then I have Y. The highest it goes up to is 7. So as long as you have your lowest number first and your largest number to the right, it's always the less than symbol. Down here at -1, because it's a closed-in circle, it is equal to. Because up here at the top, it's an open circle, you leave it as less than. So I guess I got to move this down as we double check to make sure we wrote our domain and range correctly.